My introduction, gentlemen, was about slow erosion. That's what I see happening over and over again of the guys that do struggle. Um, and what I want to do is I want to, you understand the word preemptive. That means I want to get ahead of the curve. I want to do a preemptive strike to understand what is behind our um, our own potentiality towards relapse. And and so what's behind the collapse of recovering life? Why do good men fall? Um, uh, to understand your potential liabilities in recovery could save you a world of hurt. Um, to honestly admit where you think you might most likely let things slip is a really, really cool thing, because it's going to be that preemptive awareness. You've heard the expression, what is your Achilles heel? And a lot of us know what that term means. It means, an area of weakness, a vulnerable spot. But it comes from Greek mythology, and why the Achilles heel is because this Greek mother decided she was going to make her baby invulnerable, like will never die, and was dipping it into this river Styx, allegedly, which flows between heaven and hell, and you're gonna fight off death if you get dipped in this river, allegedly. This is all mythology. And so she dipped the baby, and the only thing that didn't get dipped was where she was holding the baby's heel. And as the story in the Greek mythology goes, while he was at war, a great warrior, he got shot in the heel. The only part that wasn't protected in his armor, it came from behind and went in and shot into his, what we now call Achilles heel. And it was a poisoned arrow, and he died of that one shot from a bad angle. And that was his vulnerable spot, because that's where mom and hold him. Now, so that's the backing of it. And as far back as the 1600s. Now, this mythology goes way back. But it started being used even in medical terms in 1690, where they started describing that heel, that part, as the Achilles heel. And that's what we call it, the Achilles. If you have Achilles rupture, you know what it is. That's particular heel down there. So, but what are your weaknesses in spite of overall strength? What could lead to your downfall? What is your vulnerable spot? What is your slow erosion? What I'd like you to do is just take not more than 2 minutes and write down what you think would be your liabilities. What are your liabilities with regard to a possible setback? If things are going to erode for you, what are likely going to be? It'll likely be this. It'll likely be that. It'll likely be this. If I'm not careful, it could be that. What are your liabilities? And just take a moment to write those down. By the way, I'm going to ask you to text those 3 to me, because I want to, with all 14 of us, I want to look at what are the similarities. What are the things that we're saying are our greatest vulnerabilities? So don't be casual on this. Don't think that, well, I won't share mine. Drop dead. Everybody works on this thing. Okay. So what are your 3? And write them down. And then also we'll have you text them to me. Okay. Now, though I'm going to get you to text all 3, okay, I want you to share one. Okay, so I need you to unmute your mic, as it were. I've got my video pinned, so it'll only be showing me, but I want to hear from you. What are those things that you think will be your Achilles heel? Where will the slow erosion start, so you can understand your recovery relapse better? All right, go.
One of mine will be disconnection. If I'm not connected to people and groups and recovery, then that'll be an issue for me.
Good. Someone else.
For me, it'd be not bouncing my eyes, maintaining the discipline to keep bouncing my eyes, especially in the summertime.
Okay, good.
For me, it's hiding, especially from my wife and from others.
Okay, hiding. Okay.
For me, it's opportunity. So sometimes it doesn't, you don't even know what's coming, and all of a sudden you find yourself in an opportunity with, free time or the family's away kind of thing. And just that acknowledgement that opportunity has presented itself can be the temptation in itself.
Nice, nice. Someone else?
My biggest one would be complacency, thinking I've got it under control.
Okay.
For me, it would be when I'm feeling high stress and I'm not processing it or I'm not aware of it. I find that's where I tend to slip the most.
Okay, good.
For me, I'd say secrecy, letting like the little things go.
Good.
I've got in here allowing myself to get too close to my boundaries.
I think for me, bouncing of the eyes was a good one, but bouncing of the mind, just getting out of that place in my head.
Mine to tie to that would be dwelling in the mind. That word dwelling comes up heavy for me.
For me, lack of respect for my boundaries. So just if I let the boundaries, they don't respect them as I had.
Kind of similar to Chris, I said apathetic, like growing apathetic to the cause, to recovery, feeling as if I've got it handled.
Yeah, for me on the same lines as Matt there, overconfident. I think that when I get to a place where I think I've got it all together, or I think I've got it locked down, or I think I've got it under control, that's when temptations start to leak in, right? That's part of mine.
I think for myself, it's like being like disconnected from lots of people, whether it's just being alone or just not seeing a lot of people in a while. So I think,
right.
Yeah. Alone.
Is that everybody? Okay. So what I want to do is, first of all, good job. And I'm quite delighted at how many are matching the ones that I said. I determined what I think are the top 10 ways that the slow erosion happens and that people take steps towards the potential relapse, okay? And and I would say at this point here, in no particular order as far as frequency, but I like to have heard some of the first ones more, and then some of the other ones are observation of what I've seen. Oh, I see what happened there. But first of all is what I call incremental compromise. Little by little, it's not really porn. You're one click away. You can yield to temptation that quick. Kind of along the line that was said, an opportunity. I'm facing time alone, but what happens is the one guy I would quote this week. He said basically, I started to say in my mind, well, it's not that bad. And so he started there was behavior that was changing that was different than what he had originally said. So there's that incremental compromise. It's not, rarely does a guy all of a sudden run over and see a prostitute. You know what I'm saying? Like it's little things. And so that incremental compromise is number one. Number two is unresolved baggage. And this one here is a deeper one, a bigger one, but often a person has a soul wound, something that has been hampering them for a long time, some issues from family of origin. And the soul wound isn't the addiction itself. It's something that drove you to the addiction and keeps you there. Could be insecurity, low self-worth, problems interacting with people, not learning how to love, not feeling loved, and a whole host of things. And these usually social demons or intrapersonal demons are not dealt with. And so they're always just kind of hovering in the background. They're always just kind of there. And so I can so easily get grabbed and pulled back because of those things. Thirdly, you won't want to hear this, frankly, laziness. It's hard work to do the work of recovery. And so what happens is over time, lack of commitment, other priorities set in, start to justify, I don't need to do that, I'm doing better. I just can't get up this morning, or I sleep in, or I got to step 6, but I feel strong, I don't need to do the other 6. And but it's really just a mental it's hard work. It's hard work. Can't get around the commitment to do the hard work. Fourthly, a couple of you guys brought this up. Short word, pride. Bigger, foolish self-confidence. One of you actually said, I got this now. And it's that independent spirit, and you don't respect your addiction. And you know this from those that have battled with alcoholic addiction. They can't have one drink. We can't have one look. You see? And yet we kind of, I'm good. I'm doing so much better, whatever. But the pride is a big one, and that foolish self-confidence. Fifthly, not sure how to shorten this into 2 words as I've been doing the other ones, but not securing the victory. I implied it earlier when a person gets through to stage 5, stage 6. I got many guys who collapse and they decide they're not going to do the program. I'm going to do something else, or I don't need to check in the same. I'm beyond that. One guy just decided as he was hitting, God, he must be close to 400 now. All of a sudden, he wasn't texting me. So, and he's from another province. And I said, texted him after about the 4th day missing, because I don't necessarily track every day. And I said, hey, what's up? Well, I just figured, I'm doing good. I got guys here in my Cornwall too, and I don't want to bother you. I said, it's not a bother to me. But I think we need to agree that you quit reporting to me when you and your wife and I talk and say it's all good. You don't need to report to Currie anymore. And until that, it should be a joint decision, not just you decide on your own, because that's the first sign of I can do this on my own, right? But the idea of not securing the victory. Oh, I'm doing so much better. Yeah, I have guys that actually attend group for 3 to 4 times, and they're doing better, so that's good enough. I don't need to. One guy who is yet to be named, and didn't come to our group, came to another one of the DFR groups. He went twice, and he told his wife, I'm not like those guys. Those guys have problems. Now, the truth is, he's living in La La Land. He's smoking bad dope because this guy has cheated on his wife 4 or 5 times, literally with other people. This guy is thinking ill all the time, has no control of his mind. And he actually said about the group that he's doing so much better. So he's not even going to begin to secure the victory because he's not even sticking with the program. Number 6 is self-justification. The negative self-talk. You see, when you justify, you start to excuse things. And that negative self-talk that says, well, on one hand is I'm going to fail anyway. I'll eventually fail. That's negative one way. But the other side of it is I'm way better than I was. This isn't that bad. This isn't that bad. I mean, God, what I used to do is this, and this. I'm just barely doing this. So I'm so much better. See how the justification goes in place, and so they wouldn't speak it out loud or even speak this strong in their mind, but that's what it is. Each one of these is a slow incremental erosion. It's not like boom and we had a big change. It's this slow erosion. And that I woke up this morning asking God what he wanted me to speak about. He said, it's the slow erosion, Dave. Guys got to understand this, because these men that fell this week, it was so many little things slipping that really changed things. Number 7, dishonesty. And I've said many times that a person who has a porn or sexual addiction also has an addiction to lying. And when the lying starts to return, we start hiding things, we start withholding, we start doing half-truths, not give the whole story. And we can even lie about other things. We can lie about where we were, why we forgot to pick something up. And it's not even about an addiction, but we start lying again. And we need to have a strong hate of untruth. We need to have a strong hate of anything that resembles lying. Because once I start lying, and of course incremental, slow accepting that that's not that big a deal. I'm kind of telling most of them, I mean, this is more honest than I used to be. She should be happy with that. No, the dishonesty sets in. Accountability stops. Matter of fact, the people resent accountability. They don't want to be held accountable. They stop reporting in all clear. And matter of fact, one gentleman from the prairies who I worked extensively with, who is completely written off, but he had myself, a longtime pastor mentor, and 2 good men in the community he lives in that he was accountable to. Right now, he's blown all 4 of us out of his life. Don't need that. I don't need you. I don't need that. And refuses to be accountable because he's going AWOL. And so yeah, the all clear. I really respect. I got a gentleman that's really close to coming into. He's 3 months away from coming into the 1,000-day club, and a good man. And so it was interesting as that gentleman will be joining. I'll be buying lunch or breakfast for everybody. It was very, very interesting. One of the guys who was 1,000 days clear, I said, hey, listen, if you want to just report in Sunday nights, 7 more days all clear, and just keep adding 7 and just report in Sunday nights, that would be fine. And he said, no, he says, there's something about reporting in every day to you. I respect you. And this guy is an elder at a church. He's a godly man. And, he could go that I don't need Dave Currie, for crying out loud. I haven't seen him in person since the last time we had the 1,000-day meeting. I'm fine. I'm an elder, and he could do this. I just really liked his humility, that he wanted to stay accountable. And he reports in every day still, and he's likely, I don't know, 1,700 days or something. Number 9, Lane brought this up when he talked about disconnection, and group attendance stops, connection stops, not reaching out. We don't want to be connecting because the men on this call, they understand addiction. And I can't fool them. Now I can lie directly. Yes, I can. But we understand addiction. We know how important it is to be in group, to be involved, to stay encouraged. I mean, just as church is to your faith, because you get a shot in the arm every Sunday to keep going, to keep growing, to keep learning, group is a shot in the arm in the recovery. It's a challenge. It's being together. It's growing. And when the disconnect sets in and we stop meeting, we stop You know, even the part that, you know, fights phone calls, guys. I mean, that's part of connection, but when the group attendance and the connection stops, the erosion is sure setting in. And the final one is the faith rebuild stops short. Would be challenging you, of course, to a daily full surrender of your life to God. And where I give God my day and I seek to live for him today. And he and I look at my day at the end of the day and say, where did I drop the ball spiritually? Because if I really am growing spiritually, I can't just, you know, there's this delusion, this crazy thinking that I can be walking close to Jesus and be compromising here in my porn or sexual addiction. It just can't be happening. And so as I continue to challenge you guys to do the program, some say, well, I just want to, you know, read my Bible and listen to biblical podcasts and everything. Well, first of all, you got to do the work specifically in the area of addressing the issue here, the addiction. And you need to be building your faith over the next years. But it's not one or the other. So I would, I've had 5 knee surgeries, and after the one I had a complete knee reconstruction, and an ACL on my right leg, and I bring that up because I had to do deliberate recovery work for my right leg. I had to do deliberate recovery work to strengthen my right knee. I had to do general fitness, but general fitness, if I just went out running and didn't do recovery work on the machines and do these exercises and stretching and things for my right knee, I would never get back to full health. And so the good illustration is I needed to do recovery for my knee. And yes, general fitness too. I can't go running, but I could go for walks early and eat well and maybe do some upper body workout. But I had to do specific recovery for my knee. And that is like the porn addiction recovery. That's the recovery of the soul injury, as it were, the addiction. But you still need to have general spiritual fitness happening as time goes by. And eventually my knee recovered to about, I don't know, 90%, 95%. I can operate quite well on it. Not 100% recovered, but you know, I got to maybe be careful on a few things. But this is where you and I will always have to be careful. But yeah, so those are the top 10 factors of slow erosion. And it's really important that you work to understand your potential recovery relapse.